This morning's class is entitled, Who is the Most Merciful? The Glories of Lord Nityananda. Now, today's verse, we have several verses we're going to cover in the Bhagavatam, just so we ensure the continuity. And we'll find some interesting parallels with the topic in hand as well. This is the 10th canto, chapter 16, verse number 31. Krishnasya garbha jagato tribhavar sasanam pashni prahara parirugna phanata patram drishtva himadyam upasheduramushya patnya artya slathad vashana bhushana kesha bandha. When Kaliya's wives saw how the serpent had become so fatigued from the excessive weight of Lord Krishna, who carries the entire universe in his abdomen, and how Kaliya's umbrella-like hoods had been shattered by the striking of Krishna's heels, they felt great distress. With their clothing, ornaments, and hair scattered in disarray, they then approached the eternal personality of Godhead. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Kaliya's wives had been disgusted with their husband because of his demoniac activities. They had been thinking, if this atheist is killed by the punishment of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then let him be killed. We will become widows and engage in the worship of the Supreme Lord. But then the ladies noticed Kaliya's facial expression and other bodily features, and they understood that Kaliya had indeed taken shelter of the Lord within his mind. Seeing that he was manifesting symptoms of humility, remorse, regret, and doubt, they thought, just see how fortunate we are. Our husband has now become a Vaishnava. Therefore, we must now endeavor to protect him. They felt affection for their repentant husband and severe distress because of his miserable position. And thus altogether, they went into the presence of the Supreme Lord. The next verse continues the description. Tastam suvigna manasotha puruskritarbha kayam nidhaya bhuvi bhuta patim pranemu sadhya kritanjali putasha malasya bhartur mokshep shava sharanadam sharanam prapanna. Their minds very much disturbed, those saintly ladies placed their children before them, then bowed down to the Lord of all creatures. Laying their bodies flat upon the ground, they desired the liberation of their sinful husband and the shelter of the Supreme Lord, the giver of ultimate shelter. And thus they folded their hands in supplication and approached him. Nagapatnya uchu Nyayo hi danda kritikil bhishesmins tavavatara khala nigrahaya ripo sutanam apitulya drishti datsye damam phalam evanusamsham. The wives of the Kaliya serpent said, the punishment this offender has been subjected to is certainly just. After all, you have incarnated within this world to curb down envious and cruel persons. You are so impartial that you look equally upon your enemies and your sons. For when you impose a punishment on a living being, you know it is to be for his ultimate benefit. Anugrahoyam bhavata krito hino dando satamte khalu kalmashapaha yadanda shukta tvamamushya dehina krodho pitenu graha eva sammata. What you have done here is actually mercy for us, since the punishment you give to the wicked certainly drives away all their contamination. Indeed, because this conditioned soul, our husband, is so sinful that he has assumed the body of a serpent, your anger toward him is obviously to be understood as your mercy. Purport. Srila Madhvacharya points out in this connection that when a pious person suffers in this world, he realizes the punishment the Supreme Lord is meting out to me is actually his causeless mercy. Envious persons, however, even after being punished by the Lord for their purification, continue to envy him and be resentful, and this attitude is the reason for their continued failure to understand the absolute truth. Purport ends here. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So thank you very much, dear devotees. Once again, I bow down to all of you and seek your kind permission and blessings that we may recite the glories of the Supreme Lord this morning on this very auspicious day. So today is the most glorious day. It is Nityananda Trayodashi, and we are celebrating the divine appearance of Lord Nityananda, the embodiment of mercy, he who is always blissful, and who is inviting us to enter into a life of permanent joy, happiness, and pure love. Here we see Srila Prabhupada says Nityananda means, Nitya means eternally, and Ananda means happy. So Nityananda has no unhappiness. And if we are with Nityananda, we will also never have any unhappiness whatsoever. It's a special day where we can get extra mercy from the most merciful Lord Nityananda. So when a very rich person apparently loses his sense of sanity and good judgment out of some extreme intoxication, he might go out onto the streets and just start throwing out gold coins and valuable jewels by the bucketful, just into the crowds. Just keep throwing, take it, it's yours, take it. I'm telling you, take it. And those that are smart will catch as much as they can, as much as possible. This is the mood of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He just goes around giving this most valuable gift of love of Godhead to anyone without consideration of background. But even within this crowd, there may be some skeptics who will refuse to pick up the gold and the valuables. So then another incarnation of the Lord comes and catches these unfortunate souls and personally hands them the jewels and puts them in their pockets. Just here, stuff them. This incarnation is Lord Nityananda, the even more mad of the two divine madmen. That, no, what's wrong with you? Take it. Here, I'll put it in your pocket for you. So these are the most merciful. And here we see that Lord Nityananda is the mercy incarnation of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or the embodiment of that special mercy. So what is this mercy? Why do we even need mercy? Why do we all fallen souls need mercy? Well, because on our own strength, it is absolutely impossible for us to pull ourselves out of this miserable fallen condition. And why is that? Because for starters, we are in Kali Yuga, this age of iron. It says in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the 10th verse in the first chapter, the first canto, it says, Prayen alpayusha sabhya kalavasmin yuge jana manda sumandamatayo manda bhagya hyupadruta. It says, in this age of iron, of Kali, men almost always have very short lives. They're very quarrelsome, they're lazy, they're misguided, unlucky, and above all, they're always disturbed. We're always being disturbed, or we don't even need to be disturbed. We're just disturbed from within all the time. So our eligibility to elicit mercy, to even ask for mercy, is already very low because we're in such a bad space in terms, even physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually. We are in the worst of times. And our situation is actually quite helpless. We are helpless and we don't even recognize our helplessness. Our situation is so bad that even our ability to recognize that we need mercy is obscured, is gone. And in some cases, we may even turn against the very source of our mercy. We may start attacking. In the Kali Lila that we're reading now, the Lord was attacked by this poisonous snake, and he was bitten. He was actually bitten in the chest. He tried to bite him, and of course, after the Lord defeated Kaliya and smashed his pride and smashed his, many hoods, then we are reading today's verse. The Nagapatnis, the wives of Kaliya, they beg for mercy from Lord Krishna. And on this side, we see the Jagai Mada incident. So we are all familiar with that. Jagai Mada are two demoniac brothers, and they're just very offensive, and they're also very poisonous and just incredibly sinful. And in this instance, we find them that they're drunk and they attack Lord Nityananda and even made him bleed. So sometimes we also may be so polluted or drunk or just in such deep ignorance. That's what drunkenness means. It's just mode of ignorance, mode of darkness, that we don't even recognize our good fortune when he is personified and standing before us. Sometimes we're in such a bad place of enviousness and harshness that not only do we not recognize our opportunity to become free, out of envy, we attack the very source of our good fortune, the Supreme Lord himself. As Srila Prabhupada said in the purport, when a pious person suffers in this world, he realizes the punishment the Supreme Lord is meting out to me is actually his causeless mercy. That's when a pious person realizes this. But envious persons, however, even after being punished by the Lord for their purification, continue to envy him and be resentful. And this attitude, see, it's about attitude. This attitude is the reason for their continued failure to understand the absolute truth. But those who are closest well-wishers, like in this case of Kaliya, it was his wives. So those who are closest, most loving well-wishers, they will intervene on our behalf and they will beg mercy from the Lord. Here we see that they're begging mercy from the Lord on behalf of their husband. They'll beg mercy on our behalf, that in spite of our foolishness, that please, we still should receive the mercy of the Lord. In the case of Kaliya, it was his wives. In the case of Jagai Madai, Who was his well-wisher who intervened on their behalf? He wasn't their relative. This well-wisher was none other than Lord Nityananda himself. This is the same Lord Nityananda who was actually made to bleed. He was attacked and he was bleeding. Such is the mercy of Lord Nityananda. He is the intervener. He is our closest ally, our closest friend, our closest well-wisher. How amazing is that? So we know that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the most munificent, magnanimous incarnation of Lord Krishna. But without the mercy of Lord Nityananda, the good fortune of Lord Chaitanya's mercy is not available to us. Lord Chaitanya told Jagai, may Lord Krishna be merciful to you. By protecting Nityananda, you have purchased me. You may ask any desire you may have in your heart. From today, you will have pure love and devotion for Krishna. See the blessing Mahaprabhu gave. So hearing this, Jagai fell at the feet of the two lords and grasping the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he wept. So then, when Madhai saw this transformation in Jagai, then Madhai became remorseful and he begged for the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. He said, please, Mahaprabhu, please forgive me. But Mahaprabhu did not forgive him. He said, since he has committed the worst of all offenses of attacking a Vaishnava, Mahaprabhu did not forgive him. The Lord did not even consider his pitiful pleas, his cry for mercy. Only after Madhai grasped the lotus feet of Nityananda Mahajan and received his mercy, that Chaitanya agreed to deliver Madhai also. Such is the position, the power of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Without his mercy, without his sanction, even the most magnanimous incarnation of the Lord will not give us his mercy. So Nityananda Balaram. When we want to learn about Lord Nityananda, we go to Chaitanya Charitamrita. And in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we will find in the Adi Leela, in the 5th chapter, the glories of Lord Nityananda. And in there, the chapter is entitled The Glories of Nityananda Balaram. So Nityananda Balaram is the bridge between us and Lord Krishna Chaitanya. Why? See, Lord Balaram loves Krishna very much, very much. And he loves us all also very much. Both. All of us fallen souls. He loves us very much. Now we see in Kaliya Leela, when Krishna had subdued and defeated Kaliya, and he came out of the poison lake, there's one verse in the Bhagavatam, it mentions Balaram embraced Krishna, and kissed him. Our acharyas comment that Balaram, being the original Sheshanag, the original snake, was actually seeing where Krishna might have gotten bitten by that other snake, Kaliya. And then by kissing, actually, he was sucking out any poison that may have been injected into Krishna's body by Kaliya. So he's kissing, but also saving. But we know, of course, the Lord doesn't need saving. But this is his love. This is Balaram's affection. It is a personal, deep affection. You can imagine Krishna is such a beautiful child, and Balaram is embracing him after this. That same Balaram, the original snake, he knows the importance of neutralizing these toxins, these poisons. And he also loves us very much, just as much as he loves Krishna. Yes. And so he intervenes in spite of our own poisonous minds, the toxicity that may have overtaken us for many, many lifetimes, since time immemorial, this attitude of turning away from the Lord, of envying the Lord. This is nothing but poison. So Nityananda Balaram, he also embraces us. He also tries to neutralize our poisons because he loves us just as much. And he is the bridge. He creates the bridge of mercy that takes us to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Lord Sri Chaitanya, just as he did for Jagai and Madhai. So the embodiment of that connection, that bridge, is Nityananda Balaram. And he makes this available, this mercy, this bridge, available to us in the form of Sri Guru. Guru. Srila Prabhupada explains that Guru is one. Guru is the energy, the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. He is the original Guru. But he may take various forms. In our lives, for example, if we are truly fortunate, we will get the mercy of Guru in the form of Vartma Pradakshaka Guru, one who shows us the path of Krishna. And Shiksha Guru, one who gives us guidance and education and mentorship and care, personal development in spiritual life. That is Shiksha Guru. And then there's Diksha Guru, one who gives us the formal connection to the connection to the Supreme Lord in the disciplic succession. And the Diksha Guru, usually it says that one who gives Shiksha also then gives Diksha. So we say in our prayer, Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha. Earlier we said that prayer, the opening said Gurun. Here the word Gurun with the N at the end is plural, not Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha. Shri Gurun means multiple gurus. All these multiple gurus are our good fortune. They are the embodiment of mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, who is the bridge between us and Lord Chaitanya. So may we always be cognizant of their mercy upon us. May we get special mercy today on this most auspicious occasion. And may we continue to change our attitude toward the more positive, away from the resentful to the remorseful, away from the envious to the loving. Yes, we should be remorseful, just how Jagai Madhai became remorseful. Our acharyas teach us how to be remorseful in their bhajans. Narottam Das Thakur prays, Bhaktivinoda Thakur prays. These are wonderful moods that we can easily reach, express in sincerity. Remorse is actually positive. Regret is actually positive. Appreciation, obviously positive, and gratitude, that's the attitude. So in the whole scheme of things, we learn, this is a nice bhajan, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, Daya Karo More, Toma Bina Ke Dayalu Jagada Sansare, that my Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please be merciful unto me, who is more merciful than you in all the three worlds. Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatara, Moshama Patita Prabhu, Na Pai Beara. That you came here to reclaim the fallen souls. Who is more fallen than me? You will not find. So therefore, I am first in line. Then the third verse says, Ha ha Prabhu Nityananda, Premananda Sukhi, Kripa Balokana Koro, Ami Boro Dukhi. That my dear Nityananda, you are always joyful in spiritual bliss. Since you always appear very happy, I've come to you because I'm most happy. If you kindly put your glance over me, then I may also become happy. And we know that without Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, we cannot get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, of course, it continues, it says, Daya karo Sita Pati Advaita Gosai, Tava Kripa Bole Pai Chaitanya Nitai. Then he says that my Lord Advaita Prabhu, husband of Sita, please be merciful unto me. Without your mercy, I cannot get the mercy of Chaitanya and Nitai. Right? Then he says, Haha Swarup Sanatana Rupa Raghunath Bhatta Juga Shri Jiva Prabhu Lokanath. Then he glorifies that the six Goswamis, O Sarup Damodar, personal secretary of Lord Chaitanya, I pray for your mercy. This Narottam Das is praying for your mercy. And then at the end he says, Daya karo Shri Acharya Prabhu Srinivas, Ramachandra Sangamage Narottam Das. He says, now, O Srinivas Acharya, the successor to the six Goswamis, please be merciful to me. And then he says, Narottam Das always desires the company of Ramachandra Chakravarti. So in this bhajan, Narottam Das, he highlights, of course, the position of Nityananda Prabhu. He highlights the position that, okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it's by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that we can actually connect to the Supreme Lord, Radha Krishna in the highest form. And without mercy of Nityananda, we cannot connect to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Without the mercy of Advaita Gosai, we cannot connect to Chaitanya Nitai. And then Sarup, Sanatan, Rupa, Raghunath, the six Goswamis. I need their mercy to get the mercy of the Panchatattva. And then at the end, he even says, Ramachandra Sangamage. Who's Ramachandra Chakravarti? Ramachandra Chakravarti is actually a contemporary, a friend at the same level as Narottam Das Thakur. So he's saying that yes, we all want connection with Krishna only, but it's not possible without Chaitanya. And that is not possible without Nityananda. And that is not possible without Advaita. And that is not possible without the mercy of the six Goswamis and so on. So he's mentioning the whole parampara, that they are all my worshipable. We cannot ignore them. And not only those who are superior, even my associates, I need association of my fellow Vaishnavas. The same as, therefore he brings in Ramachandra also in his bhajan, Ramachandra Chakravarti. That is our mood, that yes, singular connection with Krishna, but it's not possible unless we have the whole crowd on our altar. And all that mercy is resting upon the strength of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, who gives us spiritual strength. So thank you all very much for joining this morning as we meditate on the supreme mercy of Lord Nityananda. Let us pray very deeply and sincerely that, yes, in 2023, here we are in the thick of Kali Yuga, but we are so fortunate that we have Prabhupada. We're so fortunate we have Lord Nityananda, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And let us feel this bliss, this gratitude very deeply in our hearts today, and pray that we continue feeling it. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nityananda Mahajan ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Madana-gopāla Prabhu. Great class, very hope-giving class. I was watching you, Madana-gopāla Prabhu, describing the fallen position of the soul in this day and age, and you were going like, our position is so fallen, so fallen, so fallen, so hopeless, and you were so happy and blissful while describing that, because you know that Lord Chaitanya's mercy is there, Lord Nityananda is there, Srila Prabhupada is there. So thank you very much for describing our fallen position with such glee and joy. Madana-gopāla Prabhu, thank you. Okay, it's time for questions, reflections, corrections. Manasi Ganga, do you have any corrections for Madana-gopāla Prabhu? Did he speak okay? In line with Guru Shastra?
Thank you, my dear God brother. I'm really, really touched by how nicely you're doing this service. I feel like may this mercy of Lord Nityananda, like how Madana-gopāla Prabhu described, flow on to us who desperately need it. Thank you.
Yeah, we're desperate. We're happily desperate for mercy. Okay. Bhima Prabhu, you look desperate. Are you praying for mercy?
I can rest assured, especially after this class, that the mercy is already descending upon me. I simply have to receive it. I've always had a special fondness, as probably with everyone else, for Lord Nityananda, the avadut, the humor, the outrageous acts, and the absolute mercy that we as dacoits. I remember one time I was with Radhanath Swami and book signing, and there was a line in some Indians come up and they would explain to him their lineage, that they were from a Brahmin family or the Saraswati family or this family. And I was sitting next to him. I had the great gift of being able to sit next to him while he signed these books and listen to their stories. And he looked at me and he goes, "And what class are you from?" And I said, "Maharaj, I am from the dacoit class." And he says, "This is the best caste of all." So we can see that, having nothing going for us, no erudition, no natural purity, that we do have someone who can save us, Nityananda and Prabhus, such as Madana-gopāla, whose smile alone gives us reassurance that everything's going to be all right, no matter who we are. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Bhima Prabhu. And I want to acknowledge my dear mother. Mother Vegavati is also here today. She's joined from Alachua. So thank you, my obeisances. Hare Krishna. Please give us your kind blessings.
Please unmute yourself and give us your blessings verbally.
Yeah, let me see if I can do it from here. Ask to unmute.
There, I found it. No, it was such a wonderful class. Thank you so much, Manasi Ganga, for telling me about it just in time. So I'm so happy I got to hear the glories of Lord Nityananda. And I really like the part where when you told how Balaram was kissing Krishna to like suck out the poison Kaliya may have put there, that Lord Nityananda is like that, just loving us and taking away all the poison that's in our hearts. So thank you so much. It's so nice to be here with everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. It just happened to be this particular verses, by the way. It is kind of aligned because we're just going chronologically in the Bhagavatam, but there is no coincidences in this world. Hare Krishna. Thank you for the big.
Yeah, when we put Krishna first, everything else falls into place. Even verses line up perfectly. Verses line up, speakers line up, listeners line up. Adipusha Prabhu, what is your reflection? Or maybe in the temple room, who's that behind you? Is that Angel? Or
Yeah, Angel's here. We were reading last night Narottam Das Thakur's song, and he was saying that this material world is a place of painful heat and burning. The heart is burning, and that the feet of Lord Nityananda are like a million moons, the cooling rays of a million moons, soothing and relieving us of this burning. And he said that unless we grab onto the feet of Lord Nityananda, there's no possibility of approaching Radha and Krishna. We must do this, or we are lost and will be immersed in the terrible cycle of birth and death, burning, burning. But the most touching part of this story, we mentioned this also yesterday, with the Nagapatnis, the wives of Kaliya, appealing, piteously, putting their children before them, folded hands, appealing to Krishna on behalf of their husband, to having an intercessor, having someone as your advocate, especially someone they were devotees. Krishna, please give him the mercy. You can see that he's become purified by your chastisement. Please, Krishna, please. They're folding their hands and crying out to the Lord. And that's so sweet. I was thinking in my life of different people who have said to me in words, "I'm praying for you." And I couldn't quite understand. I didn't have the faith or just seeing how special that was, and how much, with the care that they saw the fallen condition and were concerned for our benefit and appealing to the Lord on our behalf. So that's very interesting part of the story. I thought very touching. So we see Madana-gopāla Prabhu as somebody we want. I tell him every time because how can I serve you? How can I serve you? Please give us your mercy. Let us do something to assist you in your as you're engaging everybody in devotional service so nicely. So
yeah, we want Madana-gopāla Prabhu to be our advocate when we face our destiny. We want him to represent us. Will you do that, Madana-gopāla Prabhu? Will you dress up? Will you dress up like you dressed up today?
Hare Krishna.
You look like a transcendental advocate. Okay. Who's reflecting next, dear devotees? Very wonderful subject today, causeless mercy. Okay, let me start calling devotees out. This is my favorite.
what about Gorshan? He's here.
Gorshan, can I call him out?
Gorshan! We're chanting your holy name.
I see that lightning in the back. Yeah, it's coming closer.
Here it comes. This is saffron.
Saffron lightning.
Yeah. Here he comes.
It's very apt. All fallen souls are given opportunity, so I also get it today. So I was reading yesterday that how you're saying that this is a day of causeless mercy, that this is a lecture by His Holiness, His Divine Grace, Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj, how he was saying Natai means take this.
Oh.
Ne means take, and he says take this. So he's just giving freely. Take this, Krishna Prem. And he's not, as Prabhu was telling in the lecture, he's not discriminating who's qualified, who's unqualified.
He's putting it in their pockets.
So yeah. So he's just giving it, take this. So I was just meditating what I should, I shouldn't be wasting this life without taking this opportunity seriously to receive the mercy of God, especially Nityananda Prabhu. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Madana-gopāla Prabhu, for stuffing Krishna's mercy into our minds, into the pockets of our minds. Okay, here comes my favorite part. I'm going to call out our introverted devotees. Okay, reach on the path of devotion. You haven't talked in a long time. So if you can, we invite you to speak, to reflect. You can keep your camera off. It's fine. Where is Rich? Okay, no problem. So who's next? Let me see. Aaron, please unmute yourself and reflect on the class, if you can. If not, we're going to call out Dima's horse, Rocky. Oh, Aaron, there you are. Okay.
Hare Krishna, good morning. Thank you so much for this class. I have like the most basic and simple reflection, but really just a question, a confusion about the difference between Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nitai. Yeah, I was hoping you could maybe clarify that a little bit for me.
Yes, thank you. That's a good question. And it's a very interesting one because you'll find that question answered very directly in the that 5th chapter of the Adi Leela Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's the chapter is about Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda Prabhu himself. And he is first described as he's described as Balaram himself. So Balaram is Krishna's brother. Of course, his brother, but in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, he's described as no different from Krishna. The only difference between Krishna and Balaram is the color. Balaram is whitish, Krishna is dark. That's the only difference. There's no other difference. It's like if Krishna takes one step to the left, that's Balaram. You see. You can say Krishna is a black Balaram, Balaram is a white Krishna. So those are different ways to understand. There's really no difference. And yet they are different in the way they manifest their mercy. So yes, how are they the same? Well, they're one and the same person, and yet they're different. How is that even possible? It is not possible to comprehend that. It is not possible to conceive of it. In fact, our entire Krishna conscious philosophy, which is a very sophisticated one, is predicated on this one important concept. It's called Achintya Bheda Abheda. Achintya means inconceivable, and Bheda Abheda means difference and non-difference. You see, it's interesting. We don't use the word they're the same. We use the word non-different. You see, so it's a slightly more subtle understanding that it's not different. It's not the same either. You see, so just to understand in practical terms, the manifestation of their mercy takes different forms, different emphasis, different flavors. So if you want to understand it philosophically, there are. And this understanding can cause some confusion if we don't understand, if we don't recognize what platform we're talking on. So we should recognize there are two platforms when we're discussing this sort of philosophy. One is called Tattva Vichar, and the other is called Rasa Vichar. So Tattva Vichar means the essential reality or the existential reality. Okay. And the Rasa Vichar means the flavor, manifestation, the kind of expression of love. So in the tattva means in the existential description, they're the one and the same. But in rasa, they're different. You see, in the way they exchange the love is different. Even Krishna, sometimes it says Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. And yet we find Krishna is doing Leelas in Dwarka, he's in Kurukshetra. So is that not Krishna? So that statement that Krishna never leaves Vrindavan is on Rasa Vichar. That the Krishna of Vrindavan is different from the Krishna of Dwarka. How? Because the way his rasa is expressed, his flavor of exchange of love is expressed. It's different, but still the same person. On Tattva is the same person. In rasa, they're different. Even Krishna and Lord Ramchandra. It's the same Vishnu Tattva. But Lord Ram is different in the way he interacts with his devotees, and his pastimes are different, but the person is the same. So similarly, we can say that, yes, they're also the same, but they're also different. I hope that helps. Aaron?
Very helpful. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, never heard of it just explained like that. Rasa Vichar, Tattva Vichar. Very nice and clear.
Yeah, it actually clarifies so many confusions. If you just think in these two platforms, it like erases almost every confusion with regards to how is that possible that he's there, he's not there. But we're talking on two different platforms, Yeah.
It looks like I've just comprehended Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva philosophy.
I don't think so. I don't think it's really possible. We can only approach it with some humility. If it was conceivable, it wouldn't be called Achintya.
Right. Thank you, Madana-gopāla Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, who's next? Sundar Nandaji. What's your reflection? Sundar Nandaji, he's probably, I don't know. Sundar Nanda Prabhu, where are you? Okay, Bruce Prabhu. We know you're driving. At least you're stop your car and reflect on Lord Nityananda's mercy. Sometimes Bruce Prabhu is skiing. Maybe he's on the high heel. I don't know. Let's see. All right. Dana Krishna's Radharani.
Really appreciated this class so much. And I also appreciated Aaron's question because I also had that same question. So thank you for asking that question, and thank you for the answer. It's beautiful, and it really helped clarify a lot for myself. I'm a newbie, so it really helped a lot. And it's just a beautiful class and very, very clear. And I'm just grateful to be here. Thank you very, very much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you so much for attending and for appreciating it.
See, Madana-gopāla Prabhu is a communications director for a reason. He speaks clearly. Thank you on such high topics. Okay, Hemangi. Hemangi, how are you? How is your family? Hemangi is taking very good care of her family. She's manifesting Krishna's mercy in her family.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you so much for the wonderful class. And yes, everyone is doing fine. So today I'll be praying for my family that we all get the mercy of Lord Nityananda and we all get a chance to serve the mission of Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Happy Nityananda Trayodashi. Come again tomorrow. Srimad Bhagavatam never ends. Krishna's mercy is stuffed in our pocket always. Just, look down. It's right there. Hare Krishna.